Hi, today I'm here with Thomas Cook of the Thomas and Sally Cook team. We're at our College Street branch, and we wanted to talk about QR codes in real estate. Tom, what is a QR code and what does it do?
Okay, a QR code, the best example is imagine a barcode. So if you go through a grocery line or a clothing store, every retailer scans that code, and that tells the computer what the price is for that particular item and if there's any discounts on it and so on, etc. So a QR code is exactly the same concept, except it's a slightly different shape. Okay, it's square and it's all coded to a particular design, and the whole benefit of a QR code is it drives traffic to a specific website that you've chosen to market to.
Okay, Tom, can you hold up that QR code again? So that's every QR code is distinct, right?
Everyone is distinct.
So where can you get those QR codes?
Okay, so the one that I use, it's a company called beetag.com, beetag.com. Okay, the reason I like them is that their codes that they generate, you can get them in a very high resolution, and you can download them as JPEGs or GIF files. And what I do is I put in the domain name or the web page or whatever that I want to drive the traffic to, and click on create, and it creates the code, and I can make it larger or smaller, and then I produce it as a JPEG or a GIF, and I save it onto my hard drive to be plugged into the document that I'm going to be using it for.
It sounds complicated, but it isn't really, is it?
It isn't, no.
It's very simple to do.
You do it once and you've got it done.
Yeah, and what kind of sites would you put that QR code on?
Well,
would you point the QR code to is more important?
Yeah. Well, it's infinite. So let's say, for example, you've got a listing and you want to drive traffic to that listing. So you would use it on a feature sheet like this. And you have the QR code here. So someone would come along with their web-enabled cell phone, and with the QR code reader already loaded onto it, and those are free readers. You can get a reader from beetag.com. You would access that site with your cell phone or with your BlackBerry or iPhone or whatever the case might be. It automatically recognizes what kind of phone you have. You download the reader and away you go. So you'd come up and you'd, if a prospective buyer was looking at this, they would scan this right on their telephone. Then it would take them right to the website for this particular property, and would include the videos, the floor plan, the photos, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that's one great use.
So where would you place these QR codes for the public to use?
Well, one would be the feature sheets, of course. Another one might be on a business card. So you can add it right onto your business card here, whether it's on the front or the back of the card. And now here you might want to send them to, let's say, a video about yourself. So you create an interesting video, you put it onto one of your web pages or on YouTube, on your own YouTube channel, and you would take that code, that domain code, put it into the QR code generator, generate it, and that's where you would drive them to. So if you, let's say you had a web page with all your testimonials on it, okay, you could drive traffic there. So that's another use for it. You can put it onto signs. So this is a great example.
Well, that's cool, eh?
Yeah. So now this is one example. She's just plugging this into the ground beside her main for sale sign. Another way is to create the code, have your sign maker print out the code, and you can mount it on the sign permanently or mount it on a sign rider, whatever the case might be. So there's tons of uses. You could use them for T-shirts, right? Tattoos, there you go. You've been lusting after that tattoo, right? So you could do it on a T-shirt. You could do it on practically anything, even a billboard, right?
Yeah, I've seen them on sides of buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magazines, you could put it into, let's say, the Homes magazine that you're advertising in. You'll see them now in Fortune magazine and a bunch of other magazines, because the companies want to drive traffic to a particular page marketing that particular product.
Yeah.
So there's the choices are infinite.
So this is fairly new for North America and for specifically Canada, but it's been, I think it started in Japan at one time, didn't it?
It's in Asia, and it's been in Europe for some time. So now finally we're adopting it and
that's good.
Catching on.
So now the cool question: what are the tricks of the trade?
Well, one of the things is that, as you just mentioned, it's new to our environment here. So people aren't too clear on what it's all about. So what you want to do is make sure that you include beside that QR code a little explanation. And that's what we've done here. We've said scan this with your cell phone or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that people understand what they have to do with it. And then the sky's the limit, because you can create all sorts of interesting places where you want the drive traffic with a QR code. You're putting on sending out postcards to a neighborhood. If you've printed envelopes for yourself, have a QR code on there, driving traffic to your blog or to a video, whatever the case might be.
And one of the things I think we need to do now is to educate our buyers and sellers what a QR code is. To actually don't assume that they know what it is. I mean, there will be a learning curve involved in our market, but just to have some education that goes forward with it.
Absolutely. And for example, if you're in a listing presentation and you say, oh, by the way, on my feature sheet I use QR codes to drive traffic to your listing. That's one more way of setting yourself above the crowd.
Yeah, it's a value added. But Tom, this has been great. Thanks for sharing your information with us. And soon we'll see QR codes on your forehead and my forehead, I'm sure, one day. But I think it's a value added and it's an important component of our business, and going forward it's a great thing to have. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. One last little tip too. If you want to see some examples of QR codes and how they're used on business cards specifically, go to facebook.com/real estate technology ideas. That's facebook.com/real estate technology ideas.
Great. Thanks very much, Thomas.
You're welcome.